In the NASCAR Xfinity Series over 40 years in the sport, there have been many numbers come and go. On any given weekend, you will see 36 to 38 unique numbers on the track, and each of those numbers has a story to tell. Hi, I'm your host Matt, and this is NASCAR Number History presented by Dogleg Media. In this series, we look to tell the stories of each of those numbers. Who first ran the number, who first won with the number, the driver who visited victory lane the most, and every other driver to grab a trophy in the number. We also mention suggestions provided by you, the viewer. We go in numerical order, and today we look at numbers 25 through 29. If you miss numbers 0 through 24, the Xfinity Series Number History playlist will be linked below. Also, the Cup Series Number History playlist will be linked below as well. Be sure to check it out after this one. But with that intro out of the way, let's dive into some more Xfinity Series number history. And we start this one off with my favorite number, and hey, at least it isn't winless and it has a current driver. Let's get into the history of the 25 in the Xfinity Series. The 25 has 19 total wins with 6 different drivers. It's competed in 705 races and counting, and it has a 2.7 win percentage. The first to drive the 25 in the Xfinity Series would be Mickey Gibbs. He has no relation to team owner Joe Gibbs. Mickey would make his lone Xfinity Series start in 1982 at Daytona. Mickey would spend most of his time in NASCAR in the Cup Series, making 36 total starts there from 1988 until 1991. While not finding success at the Touring Series level, Gibbs would win 3 ARCA races in just 6 starts, which is pretty impressive. And now we move to the driver who got the number its first win, and man did he give the 25 his all. Rob Moroso would win the number's first race in 1988 at Myrtle Beach as an owner driver. Moroso would find incredible success with the number, also being the winningest driver for it. He would win a total of 6 times in the Xfinity Series, all coming with the 25. His crowning achievement would come in 1989, as he would win 4 races en route to the series title. For a driver who only competed in 2 full-time seasons in the Xfinity Series, he left nothing on the table. In his 2 seasons, he would finish second and first in the standings. And now we move to other winners in the number, and we have 4 to discuss before getting to our last to win, starting with Jimmy Hensley. Hensley would take over Moroso's ride in 1990 and would find success early on. He would win at Nazareth that season, and ultimately came home second in the standings. Jimmy would then keep the number but move to Beverly Racing in 1991, and this would be yet another successful season for him and the number. Winning 3 times in 1991, he would again come up short for the title, finishing 5th. All in all, Hensley would win 4 times with the number, having 2 solid seasons with it. And next we have Hermie Sadler. Sadler would also drive for Beverly Racing in the early 90s, and would collect 2 wins with the team and 25. Both of these wins would come at Orange County Speedway, one in 1993 and the other in 1994. Hermie would also record the best points finish of his career with the 25, a 5th place finish in 1994. These 2 wins were the only 2 in Sadler's career. And now we have a couple of one-time winners with the number, starting with Ricky Craven. Craven would only make 4 starts in the 25 during his time in the Xfinity Series. He would get this lone win with the number as an owner driver for Craven Racing at New Hampshire in 1991. Also, this is your Craven moment. Ricky Craven says to subscribe to Dogleg Media. Doing so grants you 1 racing related wish, and that's a steal. And finally, there's Johnny Rumley. Another Beverly Racing winner with the number, Rumley would win at Dover in 1995. Another number related stat for Johnny, he would make 25 starts in the number 25. And you love when that happens. And now we've hit the driver who last won with the 25 in the Xfinity Series. And it has been a long time since this one's last win, coming at Phoenix in 2003 with Bobby Hamilton Jr. behind the wheel. Hamilton would win 5 times in the Xfinity Series, all 5 coming in the 25 for Team Renzi Motorsports. He would win his first race in 2002 and would have an impressive 2003 campaign, winning 4 times and finishing 4th in the overall standings. While a promising prospect, his time in the Cup Series was anything but that. Darian over at Black Flags Matter has a great video on him. I highly suggest giving his NASCAR Bus series a watch if you haven't already. And now let's move to honorable mentions from you, the viewer. Divine and NASCAR Hot Wheels mentioned Shauna Robinson. She would make 8 starts in the Laughlin Racing 25 in 1993. I still remember playing as Shauna in the NASCAR Thunder 2003 video game, and it's cool that she drove my favorite number. And then Titan, Impact, and Obungus mentioned Ashton Lewis. He would make his final 2 full-time seasons with the Team Renzi Motorsports 25 in 2005 and 2006. While Ashton wouldn't win, he would record 3 top 5s in that time with the number. Oh, and this number font is what the 25 deserves. That's nice. And then finally, Young Money suggested David Donahue. David is the son of legend Mark Donahue. He would make 12 career starts in the 25 in the Xfinity Series, but he was most known for his Le Mans and Touring Series career. And now on to the current driver. Brett Moffitt currently runs the 25 full-time for AM Racing. They would bring the 25 back to the track after a 2-year hiatus. While he hasn't won yet with the number, he has posted a top 5 and 8 top 10s in his first season with the team, so it's looking promising. And we have a winless number. This one will be quick, so let's dive in to the 26. The 26 has 14 top 5s and it's competed in 423 total races. It's led 302 total laps and it's had 70 drivers in its time. The first to drive the 26 in the Xfinity Series was John Utzman. He would take it to Daytona in 1983. John would finish 11th in his first showing, and he would make 2 total starts in the 26. Overall, he would make 7 total starts in the Xfinity Series. I thought it would be difficult to find a photo of John, but he showed up for picture day. Thanks a ton. And since the 26 has never won a race, we will feature the number's best finish. Ron Hornaday Jr. would come oh so close to victory in 2002, finishing 2nd at Gateway. And Hornaday is by far the most successful driver of the 26 in the Xfinity Series. He would only make 24 starts in it, but has the most top 5s at 5 and the most laps led with 231. Considering the number's only ever led 302 laps, Hornaday basically carried this number. Ron spent only 1 season with the 26, with Carroll Racing. Man, if he had stayed with this one longer, I feel like he could have brought it to victory lane. And now I move to honorable mentions from you, the viewer. NASCAR Steve, Pib, and Impact all mentioned Kevin Grubb. He would run the majority of the 2003 season in the Carroll Racing 26 ride. He never won a race, but this Dr. Pepper paint scheme is a work of art, and the number font isn't bad either. This one is dogleg approved for sure. And then Marcus and Ian mentioned Parker Kligerman. One of the sport's favorites today, he would be a development driver for Team Penske in 2010. He would score 1 top 10 in 4 races with the number, coming at Montreal. This one looks weird though. The number font looks similar to Jamie Mack's 26 ride at Roush. But either way, it's a great mention. And that brings us to our current driver. Kaz Gralla currently drives the 26 for Sam Hunt Racing. 2023 is Gralla's first full-time season in the Xfinity Series, and has honestly shown some promising runs. He has posted 2 top 5s this season, coming at Richmond and the Roval. He also has 6 top 10s on the season as well. Kaz is still a young driver, and in his 2 Cup starts with decent equipment, he has posted 2 top 10s. And another cool obscure stat that has nothing to do with the Xfinity Series, but that I found cool about Gralla, is that he is the youngest driver to ever compete in an IMSA event, at the age of 15. He has been around racing for the majority of his life, and I believe that he has the talent to break the winless curse of the 26. And now we move to the 27, the first number in this video to have won in 2023. And spoiler alert, it isn't the only number in this installment to have broke a long winless drought. Here is the 27. The 27 has 8 total wins with 6 different drivers. It's competed in 743 races and counting, and it has a 1.1 win percentage. And the first to drive the 27 would also be the first to win with it. Tommy Houston would first take the 27 to the track in 1982 at Daytona. It wouldn't take long for him to take it to victory lane, doing so at Hickory that same season. Houston would make the majority of his first Xfinity Series season with the Mike Day 27 ride, starting 22 races in 1982. He would ultimately come up 4th in the standings, with his Hickory win that season being his only win with the number. And now we move to the driver, or should I say drivers, with the most wins. There are 2 drivers tied with the most in the number, each with a whopping 2 wins. We start with Casey Atwood. Atwood would win both of his races in his rookie season of 1999, and was considered one of the hottest young prospects in the sport at the time. He would spend 2 seasons in the Bruco Motorsports 27 before moving to the Cup Series full-time in 2001. And remember the Bobby Hamilton Jr. bust video I mentioned earlier on Darian's channel? Well, he did one on Casey Atwood too, and I seriously suggest giving it a watch after this one as well. And the other driver with 2 wins is Jamie Mack. McMurray is just one of a few drivers to get a Cup Series win before an Xfinity Series win. He would win filling in for Sterling Marlin in 2002 at Charlotte, and then 2 weeks after this race, he would win his first Xfinity Series race in the Bruco 27 car. As a matter of fact, he would actually win back-to-back races, winning the very next weekend as well. Much like Atwood, Jamie Mack would run 2 full-time seasons with Bruco in the 27 before moving to Cup. Unlike Atwood, however, McMurray would find success in the Cup Series, even winning the Daytona 500. And now we move to other winners, and there are 2 of them before we get to our current driver, starting with David Green. Green would claim his last career Xfinity Series win with the Bruco 27 at Pikes Peak in 2005. This would also be his last full-time season of driving. Green is a series champion, winning the title in 1994 for Labonte Motorsports. And lastly, there's Ward Burton, ironically the father of our current driver and last to win in the number. Ward would grab his lone win in the 27 in 1992. He would win at Rockingham for A.G. Dillard Motorsports. Ward is just another member of the Burton family to find success in NASCAR, and we will end this number off with another one. Now let's move to honorable mentions. Hot Wheels, Ryan Schultz, and Impact all suggested Greg Biffle. The Biff. Man, I will say that anytime Greg Biffle is mentioned. Biffle would make 10 starts in the Baker Curb Racing 27 in 2010. And man, he came so close to winning twice, finishing second at Fontana and Richmond. And that takes us to the current driver. And the current driver of the 27 is Jeb Burton. The son of previously mentioned Ward Burton, Jeb has piloted the 27 full-time since 2022. Driving for Jordan Anderson Racing, he would win the 2023 Talladega race with the number. This win would lock him into the 2023 Xfinity Series playoffs, which was a massive accomplishment for the team and Jeb. Burton has a lot of talent, and I could see him tying McMurray and Atwood for most wins all time with the number. What do you think? Let me know down below. And now we move to the penultimate number for this one, and we have back-to-back numbers that have won in 2023 and broken long winless droughts. Let's dive into the 28. The 28 has 3 wins with 3 different drivers. It's competed in 630 total races with a 0.5 win percentage. And much like the 27, the first to drive the 28 in the Xfinity Series would also be the first to win with it. Phil Parsons, brother of NASCAR Hall of Famer Benny Parsons, would take the 28 to Daytona in 1982 to start his rookie season. Driving for Johnny Hayes Racing, it wouldn't take Phil long to find victory lane, winning the 3rd race of the 1982 season at Bristol. He would finish the season 5th in points, recording 1 win, 4 top 5s, and 13 top 10s. Phil would ultimately win twice in the Xfinity Series. The other number he won in is still to be discussed. And as we previously mentioned, there have only ever been 3 winners in the 28 on the Xfinity Series side. The only other winner left to touch before we get to our last win is Ricky Craven. Craven would only ever make 2 starts in the 28 and would win in his final run with it. He would win at Oxford Plains in 1991 as an owner-driver of Craven Racing. For whatever reason, Craven would run 7 races in the 1991 season and would use 5 different numbers, one already mentioned in this video. And that brings us to the last to win, and this is honestly courtesy of Kyle Larson. Eric Almirola would win at Sonoma in 2023 for RSS Racing. Honestly, Almirola wasn't the class of the field that day, but after a costly mistake from Kyle Larson who dominated the day, Almirola would seize the opportunity. This was a massive win for RSS Racing, as it was their first, and at the time of this recording, only victory in NASCAR. There is a lot of debate about whether Cup Series regulars should race in the lower divisions. I'm perfectly okay with it, especially when they run for smaller teams and give them a better chance at winning a race. And now let's go to the honorable mentions. Obungus and Hamlin Beach Your Favorite Driver mentioned a lost legend, Davey Allison. Davey would make 59 starts in the Xfinity Series with the 28, driving for family team Allison Racing. Davey would record 9 top 5s and 21 top 10s. Rest in peace, Davey. And now on to the current driver, or should I say drivers. I will feature CJ McLaughlin as he was the last to run the car as of Homestead 2023. Many others have ran the number for RSS this season, including Eric Almirola that we just discussed. Kyle Sieg, Alex LeBay, Zane Smith, and Brent Sherman are the others to spend time in the seat in 2023. The number hasn't had a dedicated full-time driver since 2016 with Dakota Armstrong. It's pretty cool that Eric Almirola could break an over 30-year winless drought for the number this year. You'll love to see it. And we have hit the final number of this one, and it is the one with the most winners. Let's finish this one off with the 29. The 29 has 19 total wins with 8 different drivers. It's competed in 341 races and it has a 5.6 win percentage. The first to take the 29 to the track would be Joe Thurman. He would run it in the inaugural Xfinity Series race in 1982 at Daytona. Thurman would make 9 starts in the 29, posting 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s. And here's a familiar name in this one. It's Phil Parsons. Parsons would be the first to win in the 29 with his win at Charlotte in 1994. This would be the last career NASCAR win for Parsons. This win would come as an owner-driver for Phil Parsons Racing. He would eventually head to the TV booth and was a well-known name for NASCAR fans on that front. And that takes us to the driver with the most wins, and it is none other than Jeff Burton. We've mentioned 3 of the 4 Burtons to win in NASCAR during this one. Jeff would win 6 times in the 29, 5 of those coming in 2007 alone. Driving for RCR, he would make 56 total starts in the Xfinity 29 ride. And I loved this paint scheme too. Those colors look great on a race car. And now we get to a long list of other winners for the 29, 6 of them to be exact. We start with Steve Grisham. Steve is a champion of the series, winning the 1993 title. This title didn't come with the 29, but it did come with a number that will pop up again soon. All in all, he would win 3 times in the 29, all with Diamond Ridge Motorsports. He would win twice at Bristol, and would also win the season-opening Daytona race with it in 1996. Next is Elliott Sadler, another driver to grab 3 wins in the Diamond Ridge 29 machine. Sadler would win all 3 of his trophies in 1997. Wow, look at young Elliott Sadler. That's a throwback for sure. Now we move to the man most synonymous with the 29, Kevin Harvick. Happy Harvick would win twice with the 29 in the Xfinity Series. He would win at Homestead in 2004 and Bristol in 2005. We have already discussed the numbers that Kevin found most of his Xfinity Series success with, but we aren't done with Harvick just yet. And now on to one-time winners, starting with Greg Sacks. Not only does Sacks only have 1 win with the number, but he only ever made 1 start with it. A perfect 1-for-1 in the Diamond Ridge Motorsports 29. This win would come in 1996 at Talladega. And finally, before our last to win, we have Scott Wimmer. His lone win with the 29 would come in 2008 at Nashville. This win would come with Richard Childress Racing, and it would be his last of 6 Xfinity Series victories. And that brings us to the last to win with the 29. Clint Bowyer would do so in 2009 at Dover. As a matter of fact, Clint would win twice that season with RCR. Now let's move to honorable mentions for the final time in this one. Impact and Obungus mentioned Tony Stewart. He would make 2 starts in the 29, one for RCR and the other for Kevin Harvick Incorporated. Both of these would be top 5s, with Stewart coming oh so close to victory at Charlotte, finishing 2nd. And now we finish this one off with the last to drive the 29. This one has seen 3 different drivers in 2023 for RSS Racing, but most recently it was Mason Maggio at Homestead. Kyle Sieg and Alex LeBay have also made starts with it as well this year. You would have to go all the way back to 1998 with Hermie Sadler to find the number's last full-time season. I'm sure a lot of fans would be super excited to see the 29 back full-time with RCR, and I am one of them, I can't lie. And that'll do it for numbers 25 through 29. I learned a lot in this one. These were some numbers that I really didn't know too much about, and that's why I love doing this series. As always, I'm prone to forgetting drivers. Let me know who I may have missed for this one down below. We will be back next time for numbers 30 through 34. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. It helps a ton and I definitely appreciate it. And did you know that 77% of my viewers aren't subscribed, but they are returning viewers? If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? And thanks as always to the Dogleg team for all their help. Y'all make the channel and community a much better place. Thanks Darksy, Dice, The Gamer, Christian, Elite, and Chili for all that you do. Be sure to check the community tab of the channel. We do cool little giveaways like autographed merchandise and diecast, as well as updates and polls for the channel. You definitely don't want to miss it. And we also have a Discord server. Find the invite in the About section of the channel or in the description below, and come join us over there for even more fun and learning. We do exclusive contests, post our diecast collection, talk about silly season, and so much more. With 160 plus members, you're guaranteed to have a great time. But that'll do it for us here at Dogleg Media. I'm Matt, your host, and you've been watching NASCAR Number History. I'll see you next time.